16th of June, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos, conversion of Ruth.
Got it.
Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi Amori. I cannot see you. Now I can see you.
Okay.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Rabbi Shlomo Furst here at Yeshiva Samanashi, here in Yerushalayim, Zoom, learning our continuation of Ruth and our conversion. Good. How are you, Mayor? How are you, Barry? How are you, Louis? How are you today? Good to see you all. It's Hashem. Okay, let me put the tzitzilas on our screen and we'll begin. One second. Okay.
ברוך השם. בסדר.
Okay, let's see. We know yesterday. Right. I think we're in by Vav, if I'm not mistaken. That's on your page there. You should be able to see it.
Vav?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rock Zos?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Shall I read?
Yes, please, if you like.
Only this, Laha'ir al Habach. Laha'ir is for the city.
And the ear is to comment on the Bach.
To comment on the Bach. I don't know this abbreviation.
The Bezor HaKodesh.
In the Zohar, the Holy Zohar,
It's Parshas Balak.
Parshas Balach, Amud Kuf Tzadi, page Kuf Tzadi, Mevoar Behade Shalo Nisgairu Mikodem Lechein. Something about they didn't convert before something. I don't know what mevoar is.
Mevora, it's explained Behedya explicitly. Mevora, it's explained Behedya explicitly. Sholin Sgar Mekodemakim. There was no conversion beforehand.
Okay.
That's a source.
Zohar.
A source in the Zohar that says they did not convert.
Okay. Before.
But there is another source that says that they did?
That's right.
Okay,
Right,
I'm just keeping track here.
Yeah, good idea.
Ba'acharei she voar, and afterwards it's explained. Derus hus Brisa Agalon Malka de Moab. And afterwards it's explained that Ruth, what is this word, hus?
She was Barsa, the Eglon Malka de Moab. She was the daughter of Eglon, the king of Moab. Right?
Right.
And so was Orpha,
Apparently, yeah, that's right.
but from different mothers.
Could be. Yeah.
I think that's the
Uma
way.
Eglon dicatio le Ahud, and just as Eglon, what is dicatio?
Eglon Katil Ehud. Ehud was another king, and he killed him, and he became king instead.
V'mano melech acharei, and he became king after that. V'da berisa Ashteres. V'hut b'bei omna uve Shaddai.
That's Bestay Moab, in the fields of Moab.
Moab, the fields of Moab. Okay, so I guess we go back to Mano, Melech Achareo. He was king afterwards. The Da Barisi, and he made a covenant. Ashteris. Oh, what's Ashteris?
The Da de Bryce Ashteris, you should know. The Bryce is that Ruth was the remaining daughter, right? Ruth was the remaining daughter.
And she was living in the fields of Moab.
Right.
So she was the only daughter of Eglon.
Apparently, right.
Kosev Vizal. This is what is written by the sages.
Well, I think Bezel Shono, it's a quote. I'm not sure where he's quoting from.
Oh, this is the end quote.
It's like a quote. Is it?
All right, so this is from the Zohar, you think?
Yeah.
Kevon de Asa Taman Elimelech Nisava the Bore. Since that Elimelech came, what is Taman?
Taman means like he was since that Elimelech was like honest. He was an honest person.
Since Elimelech was honest, Nisava is to think. His opinion.
Nisva is to marry. Nis is to marry Libre to his son. He thought, since I think this is talking about Eglon, the king of Moab, since Elimelech was an honest person, he thought that he should marry his daughter off to one of his sons.
Oh, so Elimelech had the idea to marry to make the shidduch between Ruth and Machlam.
I think it was the other way. I think Eglon, king of Moab, he had the idea to marry his daughter off to the son of Elimelech.
Okay, because Elimelech had a reputation of being honest.
Right.
Ve'i tema de Gaira Elimelech, and if you will say that Elimelech converted Taman, lo ella kol or chai besa.
If you'll suggest that the Gaira Elimelech, maybe I think it's going the opposite way. I think you say maybe you'll suggest that Elimelech converted to their faith.
Oh, if you will suggest that Elimelech converted to their faith, honestly, that he honestly converted to their faith, lo Ella is only.
Right. Lo Ella, it wouldn't be
all orche besa. What's orche?
like the guests of his house. Either the guests of his house or the ways of his house, like the conduct of his house. I'm not sure.
So it wouldn't be all of his house. Umikula umachla. No, umichla the mishte olifas.
Umistay olifas.
Mishte is to drink.
Well, no, from two.
Oh, from all of his guests. I was thinking, it wouldn't be all of his guests, all of the guests of his house. Kala. What is a mikala?
That all the food and the drink, olfin would be separate. I think he's dealing with the question that how are they gonna keep kashrus in this situation, right? That they have to keep separate everything that they eat and everything that they drink, right? Right. That everything that Ellis, because that you see everything that he did in his house about eating and drinking, they were everything was kept separate. Was kept separately.
So it couldn't be that he would be able to serve all of his guests kosher food.
Right. That's what I think it means. I'm not 100% sure.
Amasai egg tyras levatar Kad Azlas Be Nami Kedin. What's Amasai?
When was it? It's Gaius Labus. The question is when? So when was Ruth actually converted? Right?
According to the law.
Yeah.
What is this Ben Naomi?
And the answer is it was by Naomi. It was when she was with Naomi.
Okay. So the question is when was the conversion? What is this Beitar Kad?
But Basar Kad Azlis ben Naomi after she was going along with Naomi. That's when her real true version took place.
So she was converted after she was going along with Naomi, according to the law.
Right.
What does that mean? She was with Naomi the whole time.
No, when she was going back there, it's Israel.
Oh, I see. So Ruth was converted. In other words, at the time that she said, "Entreat me not to leave you," that was when she was converted.
Right.
Amras Amcha Ami, when she said, "Your nation is my nation." Elohai Elo K, etc. And your God is my God, etc. Okay, so when she made that statement, Hare
Right.
Mivoar Behade Bezochak.
But that's the Zohar Kodesh. Hari Mivur Behedges. You see that it's explicitly explained in the Zohar Kodesh.
Sharus lo nisgaira, that Ruth did not convert. Bisha'a she Machlon, at the time that she married Machlon. The Elimelech rak limad osa, and Elimelech only taught her kol orach habayis Yehudi hayehudi. All of the orach is what all the ways of the Jew.
Excuse me.
What is this word orach?
That he orach habayis Yehudi ba Michael Mishta. That when you see that it's explicitly stated that Ruth didn't misguire, right? At the time she was married to Machlon, and Elimelech rak limodosa. Elimelech was simply teaching her kol orach, the way, all the way, habayis Yehudi, all the way of a Jewish home, v'achila v'shtia.
In eating and drinking.
Right.
So
she was not Jewish, but she was able to cook in the house. What about Bishul Akum?
So Elimelech will light the fire, not a big deal.
Okay, all right.
We can get around. We can get around that.
Okay, we got another get around. Okay.
Well, after all, I'm sure Ruth was a very good cook.
So Elimelech says, all right, you two get married. We're not going to do a conversion, but I'm going to make sure that Ruth knows how to cook kosher food.
Right?
V'hachina lekore ha-gerus bizman haba. And he
So Elimelech was teaching Ruth the way of keeping kosher, the eating and drinking in a Jewish home. Hana the cross Giras Bismanaba, and he was preparing her that she should be converted in a future time.
V'shezeh haya rak kasher halacha im naami la'achar mos ba'ala, and that this is only so that the law that Naomi could follow the law after the death of her husband. This was the preparation that he established so that she could follow through.
Right. That's right.
She could follow through with what?
A conversion later on, a real conversion. She was just getting ready. She was learning all the customs and laws of the Jews. So when she does convert, she'll be able to fulfill everything.
But it doesn't say all the customs. It just says kashrus.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
What about? Okay. It should be talking about Hilchas Nida, etc. I mean, that's more serious. You can always get a maid to cook a meal for you.
Right. Yep. Definitely, whatever she would need to know, she would be taught. That's for sure.
In preparation later.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true.
Ume'inyan hadavar shehabach, and the subject matter of the bach, ba'atzmo, himself, mi bay divrei zohak, in the house, the way of something. What is zohak?
That the words of the Bach, what we cited about the Bach previously, that he quoted the words of the Zohar, "Ela b'meishiv nefesh pasa and pasuk yud gimel," right? Right. In order to explain things in a wider way, he wrote his commentary on that pasuk yud gimel, because of ba'atzmo, right? Because of ba'atzmo.
And he wrote for himself.
Right, he wrote on his own, right? He wasn't quoting at this point, he was writing on his own.
Shenir'eh mi be'or shaladas hazahar. He wrote for himself that I see the explanation that it is known in the Zohar, kavar haskim, after she agreed, after Elimelech agreed bechayev, that he was obligated, that Ruth was obligated to be kulasu ule kacha. I don't know what that is.
That his scheme Elimelech Bechayev, meaning Elimelech agreed while he was still alive, that Ruth Kalasai, that Ruth should be his daughter-in-law, and he took her into his house, Lamder Das Yudis, and he taught her how to be a Jew.
And this is all coming from the Zohar.
Right.
So why didn't they wait till after all the preparation and everything she learned, and then get married? What was the rush to get married and then go learn everything? That's backwards.
I don't know. You're right. I don't know. Very good question.
You know, I mean, if they were so frum that it was important for her to know how to make a kugel, so you would think that they would also be concerned about the being properly converted before Bia.
Right.
And you would think they would be concerned about Bia with Nachum.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a mystery. You're right, Barry. Okay.
So what is this word? Kolsu?
Colosso is to be a daughter-in-law. Ruth should be his daughter-in-law.
Okay. Ule kacha leveso, and he took her into his house. Vali mada, and taught her das, the knowledge Yehudis of Judaism. V'ulai kedasha leveno ella shelo nishas. That maybe she would be betrothed,
Right.
to his son, but not married.
Right. That's the difference between Kedushin and Nisuin. There are different stages.
So he says, you two get betrothed, and I'm going to teach her all the stuff in the meantime, and then you'll get married afterwards.
Right.
Ad achar mos Elimelech, after the death of Elimelech, kakasuv, the Yimas Elimelech, where it's written, and Elimelech died, etc.
Right.
The Yisu lahem nashim, and they became wives to them.
Correct. Right.
So they became wives after Elimelech died.
Right.
So Elimelech had the idea that they'll be betrothed, and he'll do the training, and then they'll get married, and then he died, and then they got married.
But that's not what the Pesukim say. It says that Elimelech died. Vayomos Elimelech ish Naami, Vatishorah v'hi ushnei vaneha, and she was left with her two sons. And then after Elimelech died, Vayishalahem Nashim Mavios. So I mean, isn't it evidence on the Pesukim that Elimelech died first?
That's
Well,
what
that was,
it says.
that was before the the full marriage, but they made a half a marriage before that. Right? We can learn that way. That's what he's learning. He's learning they made a half marriage before that, and the rest of the marriage wasn't fulfilled until after the death of Elimelech. That's what it says, right? V'yomos Elimelech, Omer v'Yisrael Manashi, right?
But but even so, they were still not converted.
No, they've
Well,
been training, but they hadn't been converted yet.
Right.
But what it's adding here is this detail that they were betrothed and they were being trained by Elimelech before he died.
Well, not for long. Apparently, he died almost right away.
Why do you say that?
Well, because then it says Vayishalahem Nashim. In other words, it's and it says they
Right.
Shenos Rus Vayoshvu Sham Be'eser Shanim.
Right.
That's afterwards. The first thing it says is they came there and they were there. We don't know, and they were there, how long and they were there means. It could
Well,
be
that's
a
okay.
year, it could be 10 years.
Well, apparently it would have if it doesn't give any amount of time, it was not a long amount of time. We can't just say, well, it must have been another 10 years before that, just to make everything fit in.
Well, we can say that because we have the Zohar telling us that he did this stuff. Well, obviously, there must have been time for him to do it, according to the Zohar.
No, I understand, but I don't think it was 10 years. I don't think it's reasonable to say, well, it was 10 years. Ruth was a proselyte. She was in training for 10 years. I mean, that doesn't make sense.
Why not?
How long do you have to be trained to learn how to make kugel? Or whatever she had to learn.
A convert trains for about a year.
Okay, so if the case was that Elimelech took them in and started training, and he died after a year, okay.
Or maybe he died after a week.
Yeah, it could be.
All it says he started this process and then he died.
That's right. That's all the information we have right now. Correct. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, Im Cain. Therefore, Shapir Ki Amra. It's proper to say Naomi Vilachem Mace. Naomi, for the sake of the dead, Bale, for the sake of her dead husband, Ki na Ninas Elimelech. Since what is this Ninas?
That it's very good that Naomi was saying when she said Bishvilchem Meis Baili, that because of you, she was talking to Ruth and Orpah, because of you, my husband died. Kinenesh Elimelech, there was a punishment for Elimelech, al shiknesasa lebeso, that he allowed them to come into their house, his house, to marry his sons. L'shem Shemayim, and it wasn't that they were Megayer l'shem Shemayim.
So according to this opinion, it was because of the marriage that Elimelech died?
Right. It was not, well, not so much the marriage, but he brought the Goyas into the house, and they were, if and when they would be Mizgah, it wouldn't be a Girus L'Shem Shemayim. So that's why that's what Noemi was saying when she said that her husband Elimelech was killed because of the punishment that he got for bringing these Goyish women into the house and have them be Mizgaya Shalol L'Shem Shemayim.
You know, today, if a couple comes, you know, if a Jewish boy comes and he's to his rabbi and of his shul and says, "I want to marry this Goya," the proper thing would be to say, "Okay, well, if she's really serious, you two have to separate until she properly converts." The rabbi is not going to tell this Jewish boy, "Okay, well, let her move into your house with you, and then we'll work on it." Sounds silly.
Yeah, right. That's the right. That's of course. That's right.
I mean, if even Elimelech, I mean, if he wanted L'Shem Shemayim for her to convert, so yeah, can't bring her into your house. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Right. Okay.
That a frum person would act like that.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I happen to know that if a Jewish man marries a Goya and they're living together, and then they decide that, you know, she decides she wants to convert, the first thing that happens is that they must separate.
I have the opposite experience. I know of someone who they were dating, and he was the Jew, and he became he was Makareved, and then they got married, and then she converted, and they didn't have to separate.
Well, I don't know what kind of rub was this?
This was an Orthodox rabbi.
It all depends. There are a lot of different circumstances. I don't think that there are rules. There are definitely rules, but there are also different circumstances which you apply different aspects of the rules to.
It's very serious to have them to be together, because if she becomes pregnant during that kind of relationship, it's a big shaila about the child.
Right.
I don't know. All right. Well, afterwards, Lou, you'll give me the Reb's phone number. I'll find out.
Okay.
It's a very, very big halachic shaila for her to become pregnant before she converts.
Right. Yep, that's true. Okay, let's finish the paragraph.
I think it's, you know, it's a very complex situation. You can't really, you know, sit here and say this is what they do. It depends on a lot of factors. The hashia leveno velo haya hagerus l'shem shemayim. So they entered the house, and they, what is this word, hashia? They were betrothed to his sons,
Right.
and they were not. They did not convert the Shem Shemayim. They did not convert for the proper reasons.
Right.
They converted because they wanted to get married, not because they wanted to be Jewish.
Right.
V'haroa yireh de the Pishtos, the Bare Hazohar. And we see
Right.
what is this word? Pishtos.
The Pashtus, the basic understanding of the words of the Zohar is mashma indicates.
Of the words of the Zohar indicates Gam Zos She Elimelech. Also, this was that Elimelech Gam Haishia Mamash. What is Haishia?
Right. That also we see that the basic understanding of the words of the Zohar indicates the Gam Zos She Elimelech Gam Hasiya Mamish Libanoi Bligeris, that Elimelech himself also married Ruth and Orpha off to his sons without any conversion.
Oh, Haishia is to marry?
Yeah, right.
So he actually married also. Oh, wow.
Is this saying he had other wives? What are we saying?
No. This is marrying Ruth and Orpah to his sons, Machlon and Bekilion.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all we say. It's apparent from the Zohar that Elimelech was also involved with the marriage to Machlon and Bekilion and Ruth and Orpah at a time when they had not yet converted yet.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. So he was involved in the marriage because of the Kedushin.
Right.
Okay. The hasisfak. What is that word? Hasisfak?
V'histapik b'zeh shelilmod das Yehudis, and it was enough. Histapik, it was enough that she learned about being Jewish.
Vikina likaros hagerus asher le maaseh lo yatsa hadavar lefoal ki im acharei mos baala.
Right. That so Elimelech had gotten Ruth and Orpah to be pseudo married to his sons, and they had not yet done the conversion, and he was keeping them in the round that they should learn how to keep a good Jewish home, and he was waiting that the conversion should actually happen authentically. But lo yotze double the Paul, and the thing never occurred. Until he actually died, meaning never that what he was hoping for, the actual true full conversion of Ruth and Orpah to his sons, never occurred until he actually was already dead and buried.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What do we gain by trying to establish that that the conversion was done earlier? What is gained by that? Instead, what if we just went along with saying, no, she got converted the night before she married Boaz? What are we gaining? What are we learning by this? What's the point of it?
We're trying to understand the Zohar itself is giving us saying different things explicitly, that she was not converted, she had been converted, right? So the Zohar is telling these things because it's giving us an insight into what was going on here, and that we should be able to learn from it that first and foremost, that the process of becoming a ger is not happenstance. It doesn't happen overnight. There needs to be preparation, right? And there needs to be an organized method of acquainting the potential converts to Jewish life.
I understand, but I'm saying that could be accomplished by just saying she came to Eretz Israel, and for that whole 3 months of the summer when she was working in the fields, she went through the conversion process.
Yeah, right. I mean, look, because
So what I mean, what do we gain more by saying it was done earlier? She came to Eretz Israel, and she followed Naomi, and then she went through the process.
no. First of all, you see that Elimelech was punished. He didn't. They obviously they didn't want. She should have just, like you said, she should have just come to Eretz Israel, gone to her Sameach for 3 months, and become a
Yeah.
Gilus. And but that's what Elimelech didn't do it that way, and
Yeah,
he was
but
punished. He died because of it.
why do we have to explain that Elimelech died because he took the shiksas into his house? He
Yeah,
died
that's
because he left Eretz Israel.
no, not according. The Zohar doesn't say that. The Zohar says he
Yeah.
died because he took the goyas into the house.
There are certain restrictions, certain ways you should behave, certain ways you shouldn't behave. And this is telling us that.
All right, look, we're still in the middle of this. We still don't have the answer to the big question. Well, look, she was a Moabit, and nobody could get around that one yet. No one's really addressed that question. She was a Moabit.
Right. I mean, that exactly. What are we proving by saying that they went around the halacha?
Yeah. All right, we'll continue on next time. That'll be, I guess, Yom Rishon. Tomorrow, I guess we'll try something with Chumash about 9:30, Mitzvah Shem. Roy, you should have a good afternoon.
Thank you,
And,
you too. Be
we'll
well.
We're on a break now.
On a break, we'll be learning Mr. Brew in a few minutes.
Bye.
Okay,
Thank you, Rabbi.
thank you.